Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa natubu ilayh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fahuwal muhtadi wa man yudlil falan tajida lahu waliyyan murshida wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh arsalahu bil huda wa dinil haqq liyuzhirahu ala ad-din kullihi wa law kariha al-mushrikun. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallam alayhi. Praise be to Allah. Indeed, all praises is due to Him. Indeed, the praise is for Him. Indeed, it is Him and it is He to whom we turn for refuge and the forgiveness of our evil actions. Indeed, it is Him to whom we turn for solace. It is indeed He who sent His beloved slave and messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with the true deen, and it is indeed He who will make this deen prevail over all other systems of life, even though the disbelievers may hate it. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send His blessings and peace upon His beloved messenger and slave Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم أرنا حقا حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا باطلا باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم أرنا حقيقة الأشياء كما هي. آمين يا رب العالمين. My dear brothers and sisters, you know these ayahs very well. These are the first 5 ayahs from Surah Al-Baqarah. Each of us is very, very conversant with them. A rough translation, Alif Lam Mim. That is the book in which there is no doubt, guidance for those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and who want to protect themselves from His displeasure. Those who have faith in the unseen and steadfast and establish salah and spend out of what we have provided for them. And those who have faith and belief in what was revealed before you, what was revealed on you and what was revealed before you, and of the day, the final day of judgment, they are absolutely certain. They are the ones who are on the right path, and they are the ones who shall find solace, forgiveness, success. Ameen. These are the ayahs that are, as we read the Quran, follow immediately after Surah Al-Fatiha. And if you recall, Surah Al-Fatiha basically, the Mufassirun, the scholars say, Surah Al-Fatiha is a dua that people are making to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for being guided, but the rest of the Quran is the answer to the Surah Al-Fatiha. In other words, Surah Al-Fatiha is the question which is the submission that we make to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the rest of the Quran that follows is the answer that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made to our supplication. And at the very outset now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically making it clear. This is coming forth, and if this is a particular point of view, if you are going to have, then you are going to be amongst the successful. So these first 5 ayahs are basically laying out a worldview. anybody who can see the world, the creation through this prism, and then act on it, he is saved. He'll be right. If you don't consider this as a worldview, if you don't consider this as how to view the world and that things around you, and then accordingly tailor and act, then we're in trouble. And if we consider this as a worldview, then two things are central. One thing is the wahdaniyah, the absoluteness, the absolute uniqueness, the created, our relationship to our Creator, it comes out. Creator, creation. Then comes out, how is the Creator wanting us to be in this world? What are we supposed to do? Establish rituals? No. These rituals which have been given are there for their own purposes, to give us strength, to give us point of reference, to give us solace. And why? Because we will hold the point of view that one day we are going to be standing in front of our Creator and we will be giving account of ourselves. It is very interesting, for the day of judgment, he says, "Hum yuqinun," and they are absolutely certain of that. They have that certainty. Now, when this worldview becomes weak, or it gets substituted, then you will see different problems cropping up amongst us, dependent on what the prevalent trend may be. In this, the most important aspect is how we socialize. And I shall come to this. And to give you an example, there was recently a question posed to me. Well, we have poor prospects of marriage right now. These are girls who come from very good families in terms of their education, who would be considered the economic pillars of the society. And they pose this question, well, we are getting on in age. We really don't have any reasonable or realistic prospects of marriage in the near future, but we want to become mothers and we don't want to commit zina. What if we go and get artificially inseminated and become mothers that way? We are not committing zina, and at the same time there is this natural instinct in us that needs to be satisfied. What's the harm? Now, I'm not going to go into the answer for this, but I'm going to go into the genesis of this question. And there are plenty of these questions roaming around. And the genesis of this question is the weakening of the worldview. Do you consider Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala your creator, your sustainer? Or is that mere lip service? Do you consider Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the final messenger who brought forth a book that is going to give you the answers if you take the trouble to read it and ponder on it? Do you consider his example as relevant to you? Because if these things, if you are able to answer an emphatic yes, and if you are able to demonstrate that yes, that those answers are sincere answers, then these questions would not come to you. You would not be delving in, because then you will be talking about Sabur. And you will be thinking about, if this is a test that I not get married and not have children, this is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then He has basically made me capable of bearing this test. But if that worldview is not there, if that foundation is not there, the key phrase, Hudan lil muttaqeen. So in other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if you want to come to this book, you have to be inclined towards inclined towards, or at least inclined towards, if not being a muttaqi. And then you can extract out of this. If that foundational worldview is not there, if that inclination to view the world from this prism is not there, then you can do all you want in discussions of fiqh, in discussions of aqidah or whatever, and it's not going to do you any good. Is there not a surfeit of information available to you, each one of us on our fingertips? Few buttons need to be typed, and you have Sheikh so-and-so, and Sheikh so-and-so, and scholar so-and-so, and scholar this and this, all available to you in front of your screen, correct? Who will basically be giving you all the information that you need on a particular subject. Yet, why this predicament? And the simple answer is that the worldview is not there. That foundation that I am going to view the world through this prism is not there. And if that is not there, then you are going to view the world through the prism of nationalism. You're going to view the world through the prism of race. You're going to view through the prism of economics. You're going to view the world through the prism of politics. You're going to view the world through the prism of whatever human endeavor happens to be in fad or in fashion at the time. And you're going to now try to justify Islam to that. You're going to try to make Islam submit to that rather than you submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I call your attention to a small surah. Phenomenal surah if you think about it in terms of the lesson of socialization. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. Each and every one, almost every one of us has memorized this surah, one of the shortest surahs in the Quran. Yes, definitely we have given to you Al-Kawthar. Now Al-Kawthar can be the pond at the end of the day of judgment, which we hope to drink from at the hands of the Prophet ﷺ. But Al-Kawthar also means plenitude, plentiful. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is responding to the charges, to the insults that the kuffar, the mushrik of Makkah used to offer to the Rasul ﷺ. You are done, your line is gone, you don't have any sons. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, "O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, definitely we have given you plenitude. Kawthar at the end, and even in this world, plenitude." 1.5 billion Muslims today is a testimony to that. We have given you plenitude. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says what? You have this plenitude. Each Muslim in America, as a rule, has more on an average than his counterpart outside America, especially in the third world, or the traditionally Muslim lands. We have given you plenitude. So now what do? فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. So now glorify your Lord and what? Wanhar, to offer sacrifice. Now when we do sacrifice, the Eid al-Adha is called Yawm al-Nahar, the day of sacrifice. What do we do with sacrifice? Do we just invite, we stay in with our own families or our 2 people or 4 people and eat all that meat? No. We have feasts. People come. We distribute meat. We distribute food. We expand our circle with whom to share that feast, that meal. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ إِنَّ شَانِئَكَ هُوَ الْأَبْتَرُ. And definitely it's your enemies, your opponents that have been cut off. A very interesting word, abtar, they have been cut off. Now, If you want to say cut off, the classic example is that of Abu Jahl. His son, Ikrimah, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who becomes a Muslim after the conquest of Makkah and dies a shaheed in the Battle of Yarmouk, testifying to what? La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Now, if somebody is cut off, it's Abu Jahl, not Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it's not about just lineage. It's about what has been going on. What is it that you are going to proceed with? What is it that you are going to push forward? Now, if you look at how we socialize currently, traditionally our weddings used to be huge. Whoever could invite as many people would invite. Families. Our gatherings used to be places where children would receive tarbiyah. I received most of my etiquettes not from my parents, from gatherings, seeing how people interact with each other. The child sees his father being deferential towards his elder brother. Even though the elder brother may be poorer in terms of economics or social standing or whatever, or maybe mental standing, but that deference that the younger, more well-to-do brother was showing to his elder brother seeped into the child. The etiquettes of gender interaction, the etiquettes of how the older and the elder interacted towards the youngest. The elders in the yesteryears would not think twice about slapping a child in order to set him right. And the father and the mother being present over there would not say anything, because they knew that this was a duty, a responsibility that was being discharged by the elder towards the younger. Compare our gatherings today. If we can afford to feed 100 people in our gatherings, weddings, whatever, we'll do what? We'll invite 50 couples. Couples only. What the heck is that for? If you can afford to feed 100 people, invite 25 families of 4 each. That's where the kids are going to learn their etiquettes. That's where the kids are going to learn their manners, their associations, the ethos, their culture. These don't come in by offering classes 101 on Sunday school, or the imam getting up on the mimbar on Friday and delivering a khutbah. These come from passive learning, from witnessing, and then realizing how real this thing is for the people around you. Compare us today. What are we doing? We are hell-bent upon turning our social events into events of abta. Who's absent generally from our gatherings? Kids. What was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam being taunted about? You don't have sons to carry on. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? No, you are fine. It's these people who are abta. What are we doing? Are we trying to do fasalli li rabbika wanhar, or are we trying to become abtar? This is a very clear and present danger that we face as a community and as individuals and as families. And it has several ramifications. It has lots and lots of ramification. You cannot point me in one thing, and I would not fail in telling you how it has that ramification. It has ramification in interracial relationships. It has ramification in the passage of deen. It has ramifications of relationship of our children with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It has ramifications for whether our future generations are going to be in Islam or not. Because our children are not convinced of an Islam that they find in books and cannot see in their parents or in their surroundings. They are not convinced. And the lack of conviction, the main culprits are not they themselves, it's us. It's we. If they have a question, they are going to look at us and see how real is Islam for us, their parents, their elders. How real is the performance of the salah for their parents? Forget about the rituals, whether you do this or not, or whether before every ruku or sujood, whether you're doing this or just holding your fingers static for tashahhud. These don't matter. The crux of the matter is Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abdahu wa rasuluh. And if that connection is cut, it really does not make a difference whether you pray 5 times or 50 times as a matter of just fulfilling a cultural practice or a ritual. Because the ruh, the spirit is dead. I am submitting to you the following. And I've said this in my private meetings with friends, some of whom are sitting here. In America, we are passing through a very interesting phase, which is full of potential or full of danger for us. America is a society in which class was expressed as race differentiation. America is a society in which, up until these recent years, functioned as a society of white and non-white. The non-white being basically catered to in the form of African Americans. America is a society in which the African Americans were basically suppressed, not only because of being different, but also to perform a social role, a role of that other people could look down upon and say, at least I am better than them because my skin is lighter. I am of European descent. That is the America of history. That is how the American sociology developed. America right now is transitioning. And the burden is on the Muslim community to demonstrate how this racial, this skin color tone does not matter. And it's not going to be done by pulling out volumes and volumes of fiqh book or fatawa or spiritual stories. It's going to be done by a living reality, a lived reality. And if that lived reality is absent, it is going to spell trouble for the Muslims in particular. Do not expect your grandchildren to remain Muslims, because you and I would have failed to provide a living and lived real experience to them and for them. The America that it is transitioning into is transitioning again, very likely, into a race-based society where it will change from white and non-white to black and non-black, based on the demographics purely. And it is here the Muslim, whether it be the African American Muslim or the immigrant Muslim, the dark-skinned or the light-skinned, have a crucial role to perform and provide a lived social reality based on taqwa. And if we fail, then Allah help us. The consequences are too disastrous to even contemplate right now. My dear brothers and sisters, a very short ayah, surah. Please ponder on it. Inna atayna kal kawsar. Each one of us has been blessed with plenitude. And it does not need to be in monetary terms. If you want to have two groups of broad groups, then my contention and submission is the African American component of this has been blessed with the greatest degree of social intelligence and the capability to set the bearing, the direction. The non-African Americans, the immigrants, may be able to provide the economic component of it, but the two have to come together. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. That's the key. We cannot afford to fail in this. In this. فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. Because if we do, Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. That's who will be abtar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us safe from such a fate. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa natubu ilayh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله ان الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا ايها الذين امنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Kahf had given a very interesting incident. The third incident that transpired between Musa alayhi salam and his companion, which is detailed in Surah Al-Kahf. The incident of where Musa alayhi salam is asking his companion, tradition says Khidr alayhi salam, as to why he repaired the wall when the townsfolk behaved badly towards them. And his reply to that, this is not because of the townsfolk, but because of the two orphans whose parents were righteous and they have not attained to an age yet where they can manage their affairs, and that until such an age the inheritance that was left to them by their parents needs to be kept safe, which was under the crumbling wall. 400 years ago, many Muslims were brought in chains over here. 400 years ago, they